Thanks, Nikki. We're all starting, combining our efforts to make opportunities for early learning in our community. The goal is to use these partnerships among existing local experts in early childhood education to offer affordable, comprehensive early learning opportunities that would otherwise not be available to families. So who we are, you'll see here, this is a picture from our winter 24 PLC workshop, which a PLC is our professional learning collaboration. We try to hold about 4 of those a year. And typically what it looks like is we get together with other early childhood professionals and we try to provide some trainings and collaboration as we get together. Shelby Walsh, as I mentioned, she is the North Idaho Early Learning Project Manager for the North Idaho Early Learning Collaborative. And she also works along with Royal Lockhart, who is the Sustainability Committee Chair. And she's also the lead quality childcare consultant with the Idaho Stars Project. So Idaho Stars, if you're not familiar with, it's a program in the state of Idaho that provides training to childcare providers in education, health, safety, assessment of developmental needs. They work to create a professional development system for the whole Idaho professionals in early learning. And then one of the biggest things they work with is providers who receive ICCP. So ICCP is, if you're not aware, is the Idaho Child Care Program, which provides funds for the low-income families, which is really, and I know they recently bumped down the qualifying level for that. So, but families that receive that, they can go to one of these providers that are working with Idaho Stars. So it's kind of a quality piece to make sure that they get that in there. So here you'll see the building and care and education system for all Idaho's families and communities. These are kind of what we call our buckets. So this is what the work that all the early learning collaboratives in Idaho, what they work on. So the first bucket is access to high quality childcare. Idaho is one of only 3 states that do not fund childcare or preschool, which creates a significant challenge to working families. Infant care an infant in child care setting alone for 1 year could cost around $8,000 a year. And according to the first 5-year study, nearly 50% of Idaho residents live in a quote unquote childcare desert, which makes it really hard to find quality or even have access to childcare for working families. So we're working to find ways to make quality care more accessible to families. Our second little bucket here is our early intervention services. So studies have shown that development in the early years has a significant impact on future academics. And by the time a child is 5 years old, their brain's already 90% developed. Let's see. So by supporting early intervention, it saves time and money in the long run because we're supporting children with disabilities and hoping to help them early in life and they can join mainstream classrooms eventually. So part of that is trying to get developmental screeners out there, supporting child care providers with doing developmental assessments. The next bucket of our work is family leadership opportunities. So at the collaborative, we try to promote parent advocacy by helping parents design and lead projects that improve childhood and family services. We're empowering parents to have a voice in the community, which is important because strong family engagement can lead to positive outcomes for students, schools, and communities. It increases graduation rates and has better outcomes for children in the underserved communities. And the next bucket that we work towards is our school readiness and success at every stage of life. As I mentioned earlier, brain development in the early years is critical. So we offer opportunities for parents in our area to help their child prepare for kindergarten through the power of play. That's what I love about the collaborative is it's unique to each community that it's in. So what it looks like for us is that we work with, school districts, we work with homeschool groups, we work with daycares, childcare centers, and churches. So it kind of different depending on what area you're at, how the collaborations work. The next bucket is recruitment, retention, and recognition of early learning professionals. So everyone knows that childcare providers are definitely not in it for the money. I think the average childcare provider is underpaid to the extent of they get around $10 to $12 an hour. And and that really is amazing when you think these are the people taking care of our children for those most critical years, and they could easily go to McDonald's and make more money than for taking care of our kids. So we're working to support early childhood professionals by increasing training, education, and really empowering them in the early learning field. Lastly is our advocacy and community engagement bucket. So by empowering our community as a whole to understand the importance of early care and education and truly impact it has on our local businesses. So I think that's a huge piece that a lot of people forget is having quality childcare is part of our economy and how it affects our economy. So we're trying to support change through local, state, and regional legislation issues that affect Idaho's children and families. So this is kind of, everybody likes to see this. This is a three-pronged workforce framework for a stable and robust economy. So that includes parents, children, and childcare business owners. So when parents have a peace of mind, they can go to work when their children are in safe and quality care. Children can develop workforce-ready skills in quality childcare programs and fortifying the workforce pipeline. Sustainable businesses are the backbone of access to quality childcare programs, and this is made possible only by supporting small business owners specializing in childcare. Our outreach. So Heather Lee, who was in our first photo, she is the Idaho Association for the Education of Young Children, and she helps direct all of these collaboratives. So in the state of Idaho, we have 25 learning collaboratives statewide. And our reach is in North Idaho. It covers the Benewah County, Bonner County, Boundary County, Kootenai County, and Shoshone County. So we kind of have a wide range that we're covering up here. Our partners. So you'll see that United Way is our biggest one. They technically house this position that Shelby or I am in currently. That makes this possible. And a lot of our funding that we get comes from the Idaho Association for the Education of Young Children, and they help oversee our program. And as I mentioned before, Idaho Stars, we're really working with them because there's that quality piece in there that they're working one-on-one with these childcare providers to make sure these are safe, quality environments that our children are in. So other partners include, you can see we work with the Head Starts, we work with the local school districts. We have some businesses on there. I know that like STCU has been awesome. We have someone from them that's on one of our committees for sustainability. We work with the Idaho Children's Trust Fund. They do a lot of our grant programs where we can do outreach to families and stuff in the community. And I won't go through all of them because there's quite a bit here. So we're hoping to always grow our collaboration and our partners because surprising enough, the more businesses that we get involved in stuff, it really helps with that awareness in our community. So collaborative play. So we put this on here. So if you know early childhood at all, there's stages as children develop in their types of play. And generally it starts as like a solo play. And it gets to about the age of 3 when they start really to recognize other children and really start to like work collaboratively with one another. So we had this on here because we just like to put collaborative play. It's a type of play where children work together to achieve a common goal, which is basically what all these areas right here are United Way, Idaho Association for the Education of Young Children, and Idaho Stars is doing. We are collaborating through our North Idaho Early Learning Collaborative. So our goals. Our 3 goals are access, sustainability, and quality. Access is ensuring families can obtain quality, affordable childcare by addressing and overcoming the financial and quality obstacles identified in the need assessment. So we do a needs assessment about once a year, and we just try to assess, the needs and work it on our goals from there. Sustainability. So the goal for our sustainability is ensuring small businesses providing childcare thrive through supportive networks and community partnership to build a strong workforce receiving professional level compensation. And quality. The goal of our quality is delivering childcare through a skilled workforce using developmentally appropriate practices and resources. This allows us to focus on school readiness and success at every stage of life and overall family well-being. All right, so if we look at these a little bit more in depth, access. So the top 3 challenges for families seeking childcare are affordability. We just talked about how an infant can cost about $8,000 a year. And that's just an average. And a lot of times you can get ones that are extremely high. So affordability is huge. Quality is another issue, making sure that these childcare places are of quality and stuff. And trusting. Everybody wants to be able to trust the provider that they take their children to. So some of the work in our access committee that we've been working on is community outreach. So we'll go to events, we'll set up, and we'll kind of let it be known who we are in the community. And then our child care tuition scholarships, this is huge. So we do our A.L.I.C.E. Tuition scholarships for families that don't meet ICCP, so they don't qualify for the Idaho's, child care program to get those funds, but maybe they're working in that middle income working family, A.L.I.C.E. families. And so this scholarship program has been amazing. So what we try to do is look at what they are paying towards their child care and try to get it down to, if we can, to about a 7% of their income, no more. So, and we approve these every month. They're due on the 10th of each month. And we have a committee that goes through it. So, and it's all the money that comes through is either through grants or for donations. So, and I was just going to read a couple quotes. I get thank yous all the time for our scholarships, so sometimes it's nice to share what these recipients are saying. So here's one. Thank you so much for the award. Our family is grateful and thankful for you and your program. This support may seem small, but in the hand up that we needed to help us get our budget back on track, allowing our kiddo to maintain her routine and the best daycare in the state. It's our goal, and this has helped us out to do that. So thank you. So we get those all the time, but it's just amazing because a lot of time when we're out there in the community and we're trying to get, donations and stuff for our childcare tuition scholarships, you'll hear, oh, I don't want to help pay for someone's daycare, I had to pay for mine and stuff. And when you kind of step back and you look at the big picture, you're looking at these families that are working in our community, and they are hard workers of our community and adding to our economy. I recently did like a data thing to try to see where are we at, where are these people coming from that are applying, and actually in our North Idaho, the top 3 employers that have employees receiving these scholarships was like Northwest Specialty Hospital, Kootenai Health, a lot of students from NIC, and some of the big grocery stores, so chain stores and stuff. So it really shows you that it's not just someone just out there trying to get money and a handout and stuff. These are hardworking families with really hard stories, and they're just wanting the best for their children. And when employers can know that their employees are going to show up because they don't have to worry about childcare, that is huge to our economy. So another piece is our Ready for Kindergarten workshop. So we combine with the Idaho Children's Trust Fund, and with that, we go around the community and we set up these courses for families. They're about like a three-piece workshop, so they'll do like a fall, winter, spring, and it's available to for children 0 through 5. And the parents come in and they get usually like a free dinner, free childcare, and they'll sit through about an hour of a little workshop that tells them how to play with their child and how to take everyday moments, 10 minutes a day, and really help them prepare for kindergarten. So giving them the tools they need. So, and then along with that, each time they come, they get this amazing kit full of learning supplies and toys. So generally it's like Melissa and Doug stuff. So it's really about usually $100 to $200 worth of educational toys that they get to take home. So, and support their learning there. This year we have combined with the Post Falls School District to run some readies for kindergarten. We did Lakeland School District out at John Brown Elementary, and down on the Coeur d'Alene Tribe at their early childhood learning center, we actually were able to do younger ages there as well. So we had 3 workshops going there. And we're hoping to expand in the future. In our sustainability committee right now, childcare business owners face significant challenges to providing community of services, continuity of services. So one of the biggest things we are working on in that group right now is a local and compliance regulation. We have a couple childcare providers who are in-home childcare providers and licensed, but had to actually downsize the amount of children in their care because the city wanted them to zone in because of all the development around them. And then it's kind of stuck right now in a limbo between the city and the county on this compliance, and it's affecting her business and how many children she can take in. So we have several facilities that are dealing with similar issues. So we're kind of, as a committee, we're working to try to overcome those. Another thing is fundraising and trying to get money for our collaborative and for the services that we provide. And then advocacy is huge for this sustainability group, really trying to advocate not only to our local leaders, to our state leaders, and then also advocating for one another and trying to really, as childcare providers in the area, really trying to come together. So one thing that I know they're working on is they're trying to put together a childcare fair for Kootenai County, which would be an event where families could come on a Saturday and you can come walk around and see all the different childcare providers in Kootenai County, what they provide, what kind of their curriculum do they have, and how do you get your child on the wait list. So really kind of working together to help families, find their spot that they fit in. The next one, quality. So our quality committee works a lot on the professional learning piece and professional development. So like this last couple weeks ago, we just had our professional learning our professional learning community at the Coeur d'Alene Library. And what we were able to do was we had about 50 childcare providers from across North Idaho signed up, and we got together and we were able to do some really awesome trainings on STEAM and STEM in our childcare facilities. So a lot of hands-on learning, a lot of, we try to give out prizes to everybody for like early learning toys and stuff that they can use in their classrooms. And then just the opportunity for them to get together with other early learning professionals. So training stipends is something that sometimes we are able to do if funding is available, and that is to help, like I said, get childcare providers trained in certain areas. And then the Strengthening Families Framework and Hope is another under this umbrella of the Quality Committee. So here you will see, this is Idaho STARS 25 goals, which are to strengthen a system that increases the recruitment, retention, and recognition of childcare and education workforce. Build systems to increase the availability of quality childcare through collaboration with childcare providers and education partners, and connect children and families to quality childcare that meets their needs. And the North Idaho Early Learning Collaborative are short-term objectives right now, and that says March PLC, but we just finished that up. And it was a success. And our sustainability committee is fundraising for the ALICE scholarships and the NIELC goals and working on that local compliance advocacy. And then the access committee, our biggest goal right now is continuing working on those scholarships and making getting those available to families that are in need. So um, stop share. And actually, I do, and I can probably have Nikki send it out as well. If anybody is interested, we do send out a monthly newsletter that kind of just says what we do each month, what we're working on. And we have a survey if you'd like to get interested in any of the committees that we hold each month for the access, sustainability, and quality. So, does anybody have any questions? Well, I thank you guys for taking the time to listen and let me share about this because this is something that we are very passionate about and want to keep working on and getting it more aware in our community. So thank
Hey,
you.
I
Sarah,
think Evelyn, go ahead.
if you have a flyer for that fair, for childcare fair thing, when you
Yes.
have it, if you can send it to me, I'll post
Yes.
it up at IHFA's office.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yes, we're in the very, very beginning stages of it, but we're hoping to have something in the next month or so ready and available. We're shooting for August.
Yeah, I like to post things for resources that I find in the community. Like I've gone to the library and had, lawyers in the library and all their
Yes.
job stuff. I like to
Yes.
post things because we have a lot of traffic coming in with Idaho housing. So if you guys have any resources or any things you want me to post up, I have United Way's childcare scholarship
Awesome.
information up posted. So hey,
Perfect.
send them my way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Sarah, can you quickly tell us who is invited or encouraged to join the ELC? Is it only for childcare providers? Can a bank and insurance, Joe, Lady Jane from the street join? What does it take
Yeah,
for
so
folks to
it's
participate?
available for anybody in our community that is wanting to come, like I said, as a stakeholder and be part of this change in our community. So we do have a lot of childcare providers that are part of these committees, but we also have people that are maybe working at a bank or a parent, or they work at NIC for the Center of New Directions. There's all kinds of people in our community that are really wanting to come together and try to get this strengthened. So, and I know everybody knows right now with the deregulation childcare bill going through the state and Senate and stuff, and a lot of people are concerned about that because it's going to take away, some of the ratios for children in our childcare centers and change some of that supervision piece. And it would also take away our local compliance that we have for like Coeur d'Alene. City of Coeur d'Alene has its own childcare licensing, and so that would be taken away. So there's a lot of concern about quality and stuff in our early learning professional with the early learning community and stuff with that going through. So I would say anybody wanting to get involved, anybody wanting to advocate, definitely at least join our email. And I told before, I'll have Nikki send that out. It's just a brief little survey that says how you'd like to get involved, even if it's just to get our newsletter. So
I have a little update on that bill. It is House Bill 243. It has made its way out of committee and actually made it onto the Senate floor for discussion. And then yesterday or the day before, Carl Bjerke, I think he's a senator. I think he had received feedback over the weekend from constituents, particularly about the childcare to provider ratio that was going to be lowered in that bill. And that was, in so many people's opinion, going to be dangerous for the children if you have fewer teachers and more children, especially for infants. How dangerous that was going to be. I guess it was lowering also the threshold for people to enter the childcare business. So if you can have more children and employ at the same time fewer people that have to manage the children, then you can have more children, right? Or you can even become a childcare provider and enter the market as a business. So on one hand, that is beneficial because you have more childcare slots in the community, but of course we all want to have high quality childcare for anyone's children, not just our own children. So I assume, I don't know this, that he received a lot of feedback over the weekend, and then actually not yesterday but the day before, the entire Senate had to vote to get it out of discussion from the floor, because once it makes its way apparently to be discussed on the floor, every senator has to vote to stop discussion on it, and they unanimously agreed to stop discussing it, and Senator Bierke put it back into the discussion stage. So they will either update it and bring it back to the floor for further discussion, or it will get stuck in the discussion stage and not get discussed before the end of the session. I am going to attend today a public policy committee meeting that the Chamber of Commerce puts on, and actually Representative Jordan Redmond and Senator Carl Bierke are going to be our guests today at noon. So I'm going to hear how this went down and what their thoughts are and why they decided to go ahead and remove it from discussion. So this is a big thing for the childcare industry. 243, we got to keep an eye on it, and we got to be, if we have opinions on it, you know, make our opinions known to the representatives and senators. You can probably tell from my speech that I am not very impressed with 243 and the lowering of ratios. So speaking as Nikki Swain and not necessarily representing, strong opinions for the United Way. Anyway, so there we are, 243. Let's keep an eye on that. We're going to get an update today, and that's all I have at the moment about the childcare industry and from a legislative perspective. Anyone else have any comments or questions? All right. Actually, the United Way of North Idaho is at a A.L.I.C.E conference at the resort here in town, where the United Ways from the Pacific Northwest are meeting. So our brains are being filled with A.L.I.C.E information yesterday and today. So we will have all the information. Of course, they update all of their data every 2 years. So the 2023 information will be available, A.L.I.C.E data available this, I think in May, she said. So more and additional data about, the entire nation, but of course we're interested in Idaho, will come out in May. And that, of course, is available at unitedforalice.org, or ask us to help you find all of this data if you want it. Any other questions?
Do we have a meeting next month?
We do. Whatever
Can-
let me look at the calendar. The second Thursday in April,
Mhm. I have
which
it concurring, but I just don't have the links unless you guys send it to
does
me.
not, it's not changing. It's the same.
Okay, can you send me a new link just to make sure?
It's the one that you used today.
The December one?
Yeah, it's always the same. It does not
Okay.
change. So keep the one that you used today.
Uh-huh.
That's the one.
Okay. And do we know topic next month?
I don't think that I have a speaker for it yet, but as you know, we're considering whether we want to be a group that meets and exchanges information and is sort of educational, or do we want to be a group that has a task, has a goal? Are we getting together in subcommittees perhaps and trying to work on a cause or a thing? So that is something we're evaluating. So we might change our format a little bit. That is something we're discussing at the moment. Anyone who is interested in throwing in and see how we make this group more active, please send us a message. we have a whole survey about it, but send me or Sarah or Rebecca Pratt or Rachel a quick message, and let us know if you got, a few minutes in your monthly schedule to do that. Anyone else have any comments? Thank you, Sarah, for leading us through what the Early Learning Collaborative is and how you participate and the challenges and the benefits of it.
Thank you for having
All
me.
Yes. Well, I'm giving you all back 45. I'm giving you all back 15 minutes of your hour. Go be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye.